Welcome back to another episode of the Home Turf Podcast. Episode 34, Big 3-4. A lot of legends have worn the number 34, and there's been a lot of legendary podcasts that started on number 34, and this is it. This is one of them. And with us, we got, of course, Hunter, and we got, of course, Cade, and then we got someone new. New person from the podcast team, Emily. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Doing good. Why don't you tell listeners a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you do, what you write, all that good
How
stuff.
fast is your fastball? What kind of pitches in your arsenal? What's your breaking ball?
About 105 actually.
That's it?
105. Yeah, on a good day. I'm from Chicago, Illinois.
Oh.
I'm a junior here on campus. Usually write baseball. I also write hockey for the hockey team.
Go hockey.
Yeah, go hockey.
Yeah, go hockey.
You have a hockey team that you follow?
The Chicago Blackhawks, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, are they having a rough season right now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How-
like
that's
That's
usual.
one way to put it.
How are they always? I thought they were like
I
one of
mean-
them like New York Yankees of hockey.
They are a big franchise, but they're like the Bears. They're not good right now.
No,
Oh, it's like the
2010,
Bears.
2015,
Oh, no.
That was their time.
That was the golden
The Chicago
age. Now
hockey
they're-
and NFL franchises are very similar.
they-
How are the Dallas Stars doing?
Come on now.
How are they
Nah.
doing their thing?
Yeah, I mean they have a
alright.
chance to get first place in the Western Conference actually.
Oh.
Yeah, they're
Can they even make the Stanley playoffs? The Blackhawks?
no, they
Stanley
won't
playoffs.
they
What
won't
they
make
call
it
the
this year.
Stanley Cup? Oh, is
They-
that's NASCAR, huh?
They're going for
It's
a
not
draft.
the Oh my God, what's a Stanley Cup?
You
That's
need to,
hockey.
You
That's
need
hockey,
to
yeah.
stop. Just give up. You are.
It's hockey, right?
Yeah.
Stanley Cup's hockey.
The Stanley
Okay,
Cup is
I was
the
right.
trophy.
I had it
No,
right.
Blackhawks are going for a draft pick now.
They're going. Oh, they're tanking.
They're
But,
rebuilding.
but they also beat the Bruins, so they can't get number one. Probably. We're going for like 3, maybe.
Yeah,
The third pick. How's the draft? Is it just based on rankings? Like usually,
They
do you
do
have like a
lottery.
lottery?
it's like the
Lottery.
lottery NBA.
NFL should do the lottery.
They should. The NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully you get teams stop
Because
tanking.
it's
smart.
a lot easier to like strategically tank in the NFL, where like because you only have this like certain number of games. So I feel like if you did a lottery, I feel like it just makes it even more so like just.
Oh yeah. Hey, so Chicago, right? So your Bears, Blackhawks. They're not from Chicago, are they? Are
Yeah,
they?
they are.
They are.
Wow.
Chicago
dude,
Blackhawks. That's
you
I do.
are
My knowledge of
terrible.
hockey. My knowledge of hockey is just dead. I
That
have
is-
no
that is
idea.
Very apparent.
You got a baseball team,
Yeah. I'm a Cubs fan.
Cubs, and then Bulls.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. True Chicago. Are you? Every person from Chicago that's a Bears fan I know, I ask them, do y'all actually worship Mike Ditka?
Yeah.
Like, do y'all bow down, have a little Mike Ditka statue in your
Oh
house?
yeah, the shrine. Yeah.
The shrine of
It's in
him?
every corner of everyone's house.
See, I have a Dick Butkus shrine.
A Dick Butkus?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I was actually a big
That's right.
Julius Peppers fan.
Julius Peppers? Yeah,
Because
that's
I'm
it.
back up in the Super Bowl with Julius Peppers.
There you go.
Hey, you know he is the only only player to win a Super Bowl and also go to the Final Four.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Boom. There's your little.
There's your
there's
Hunter
your
fact of
nugget.
the day. There's your nugget. Huh.
It's your-
Hey,
I think
so
it is sponsored by McDonald's.
oh yeah,
Yeah, that's next up on the board.
yeah. So nice to meet you, Emily. Welcome to the team. I know you, but I was just saying that from the listeners that told me to say that to tell you.
Right.
Nice to meet you. Welcome on the podcast team. And let's get into it. We had a lot happen since our last podcast. We had a whole SEC tournament. We witnessed one game in the March Madness. I mean, yeah, as an Aggie fan.
Gotta address the elephant.
Yeah, and a lot going on with baseball. There's a lot to cover today, and that's what we're going to do. And let's start off with the farthest thing back. What happened first?
Let's get out the way.
Let's get out of the way. SEC tournament.
Yeah.
A&M made it all the way once again to the SEC finals, and then once again
smoked.
smoked. It was a rough game. I got to go with one of our riders, Brad, and it was a fun time being out on Broadway and covering, watching all the basketball. However, it was just kind of a sad ending. Just kind of, But it turned around quick because literally an hour after we had the selection Sunday.
Yeah, it was a lot less somber than last year, where the
Yeah.
players are getting back and they were like crying on the plane, and
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know, everyone's there just.
It's almost like, I don't want to say it, but it's like they kind of just expected it, Let's just get on. Let's move on with this and get to the March Madness. We're in the tournament.
I mean, yeah. At the end
Yeah.
of the day, you know the committee, unless your birth relies on winning your conference tournament, if you know you're in, you know the committee doesn't care about
Yeah.
who wins the championship game. Like they weren't gonna bump us up a seed.
Yeah. Imagine so you think if they would have won the tournament, they still would have been a 7th seed?
Yeah, probably.
That's
They've
insane.
they've shown
Dude.
that they don't care about the conference tournaments.
And I'm glad that so if you're a part of the committee, it was bothering me, and I've been waiting on the podcast to say this. But if you're,
Committee listeners, anyone on
No.
the selection committee, if you're listening,
no, 100%.
open up your
So-
ears.
I'm big on I respect every committee, the Heisman committee, all those committees, the playoff committee, the tournament committee. However, the tournament committee, they're in charge of a multi-billion-dollar industry that takes in a lot of money. They set the teams, they set the games. If you have control of something that powerful, you cannot let your feelings get in the way. Or you cannot be a diva. Let's say that.
Greg Brown.
And that's exactly what they were. I feel like you have to put your feelings aside when it comes to stuff like that. And Joe Lunardi even came out and said after the Selection Sunday that it was 100% because of what happened last year. But however, some stuff that is said should not have nothing to do. There should be, like Buzz says, there should be statistics with in
Transparency.
in a multi-billion-dollar industry.
transparent.
There should be a set list of requirements that gets a team in. It shouldn't just be off what the committee feels and how they're feeling. Oh, you hurt my feelings last year. No, you're gonna get number 6. Dude, like, there's other stuff to worry about, other stuff going on. Grow up, get past it. You're in charge of something super big. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
I mean, I agree 100%. I feel like when you throw in a human, when you're the NCAA tournament's already a huge just crapshoot of human elements that you're throwing together.
Yeah.
Sometimes some teams aren't going to get some calls because certain refs are roughing certain games, or sometimes a team that's better statistically gets matched up against a team that is better in the little places that they're not, and there's so much human element when the people who are deciding it are also throwing in their
Yeah.
own little spices
Yeah.
in the mix.
I mean, I get they're human. I get
Yeah.
they have feelings, but when you have control of something that big, of that caliber, like, you just, I don't know.
It's one of
But
those profitable sporting
Yeah,
events. And
it is. And it's just, I don't know, they let their feelings get in the way. But however, in the end, it didn't freaking matter.
No, because
I mean, possibly.
Well,
I mean,
they-
they ran into a hot team by getting.
I
that
mean, they
7th
did
seed.
run into a very
That's-
high.
Instead of running into like a Oral Roberts or a Drake. I mean,
Yeah.
I would much rather.
hey, you're talking to a former Drake Bulldog.
Sorry.
You went to Drake?
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
You didn't mention that introduction
Moines.
at all?
Why would she? She's not on the Drake Turf podcast.
Well, I would have said I would have been, hey, I came from Drake. Actually, half the viewers probably, no offense, don't know.
Yeah, I think if this was inverse, no offense to Drake, that would probably, if she was
We
like,
have
it's
a
like,
cute mascot over there. All right.
hey, we have
A
a cute
bulldog?
mascot too.
Yeah.
There's like, you're one of like 50, 100
Okay.
colleges called the Bulldogs.
But
Okay.
anyway,
Yeah, well, they lost to Miami,
Yeah.
so I would have much rather played them.
so
Yeah,
at the end of the
no,
day, Penn State wasn't a 10 seed. They were an 8 or 9. A&M was not a 7 seed. They were a 5 or a 6. But again, end of the day, you have to play who you have to play. And they had to play Penn State. And saying they played them is kind of an overstatement.
There was a lot of good first round games that were very close, especially between 2 and 15 seeds. And the only really blowouts there were like Kansas, Alabama game, and then you have the 7 and 10 seed. I don't think any other 7 or 10 seed was a blowout.
No.
Like, I get losing
That was
close, but it was just embarrassing.
Well, it's when I was looking at the tournament teams, the projections, like obviously we were never slated to play Penn State, but I do remember, and looking back on now, it's kind of funny. I looked at Penn State, looked at what they were good at, was doing my evaluation of them. I'm like, damn, that's a really good team. I
It
was
is.
like, I think they have a chance to make it pretty far in the tournament.
Yeah.
And then we watched Selection Sunday, and then I see us get a 7. I'm like, what the hell? And then I see Penn State. I'm like, phew.
Yeah. No, so.
And then I see Texas in the next little nugget, and
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, they set us up.
Oh, they said so. Oh, perfect.
I think we did a 4D chess move and lost, so they couldn't get the A&M Texas game the next
Yeah.
round.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I
no, we
think
didn't
they.
do that,
I'm
definitely.
I'm actually happy they got blown out by Penn State and not
Yeah, we would not. Even
I think
Texas.
that's what I was saying was the brightest part out of all of it was the fact that you didn't have to get beat by Texas, but I still would have much rather advanced and
Yeah, I mean, Penn
At least
State,
play Texas,
Yeah.
you know.
Penn
give it a
State
shot.
did everything good that we were bad against. They shot a lot of threes. They made a lot of threes. They had 4 seniors in their starting lineup, super experienced. Jalen Pickett's a 6'6" guard who
Yeah.
backs you down like a post player, and then
Old
uses
school,
it, and then
man.
uses his speed to do like a quick turnaround move or like a like a floater, and then when you
Yeah.
have a dude who shoots
And then
8 for 11.
Andrew Funk decided to turn
Dude,
to
take
Steph
us
Curry.
to Funky Town, dude.
Yeah.
8 for 11
Funky town.
from deep. And like not even like wide open, oh man, busted
Where
coverage.
did
He's
he-
like crossing half
Where did he
court.
transfer from?
Andrew Funk?
Yeah, because
I
he
don't
was
know.
4 years at some mid-major
Probably yeah,
before.
probably like Southwestern Polytechnic State or something like that.
Yeah.
He was probably some Bucknell.
Bucknell.
He's from Bucknell.
Bucknell.
And he looks like he's
Do you
from
know where
Bucknell.
Bucknell is?
I have no idea.
All I know
Isn't
is
it
the
from New
Bison
York?
because I have an NCAA 14 dynasty with Bucknell.
Oh, okay. That's actually
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, we're triple option.
Well, shoot. Yeah, no, Jalen Pickett, very old school player. I was watching, so I kept up with the Big Ten. I probably watched more Big Ten than SEC this year.
Wow.
And
Watch any Big East?
No. Okay, no, I can't stand the Big East. However, I watched all Big Ten, and a guy I watched the whole year is Jalen Pickett. I've been trying to put my friends on him throughout the year,
Yeah, he's
but
cool.
you watch him, and he's just so boring and old school. However it works. I mean, he's good. But nah, they faced a hot team, got dominated, got bumped out, and now we're on the next year.
Next year, and I will say, losing Dexter Dennis, that hurts a lot. I loved watching him play. He was a stone cold assassin.
Yeah,
He was gonna lock down your best guy.
didn't even win any defensive
No,
honors, which is nuts.
He should have, and I'm really gonna miss Dexter Dennis. But it's the Aggie tradition of there's always next year.
It's always
It's
next.
always next year. That
my
should be
gosh.
You're
one
only
of our.
losing like one key contributor like
Dexter
you
Dennis.
were last year.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like going with that same
Yeah.
feeling as you were
And-
this year.
Go on.
I think there's gonna be some transfers out, but I have a feeling that if we do lose maybe one of the contributors who we had from this year, 1 or 2, I don't think we're gonna lose any of our like the major key components like Tyrese Radford, Wade Taylor, Julius Marble, Henry Coleman, and then we're getting Bryce Lindsey, the point guard from IMG, who is you think Wade's a flamethrower. This guy can shoot. He needs to. His driving needs a little bit of work.
Yeah. But he'll be behind Taylor, learning from him.
Yeah, he'll have 2 years of, maybe 2 years. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens with Wade. But he'll have at least a year of learning and being behind Wade and getting, probably some decent playing time.
Some
But then
knowledge.
there's the transfer portal as well. Portal combat season. So fun. It's like free agency, but you don't have to worry
Yeah.
about contracts. It's like, it's awesome.
Who are some of the guys you think on the team that would possibly be gone at the end of the season?
I'd hate to.
If-
I hate to.
I like to do this public service
speculate.
message. Yeah, I hate to speculate. If anyone from the Texas A&M basketball team is listening, I'm just simply stating who I think based off of potential to transfer.
Who think
and-
would be better off transferring and bettering his collegiate career somewhere else?
I mean, because A&M has a really long bench. But
Yeah.
I think Hayden Hefner. I feel like he has the capability of being a starting guard for a smaller mid-major or even like a smaller Power 5.
Yeah.
But I just think with everyone in front of him, and now we're getting guards in from recruiting, and I would be stunned if we don't get a few guards in the portal. I mean, we've
Yeah.
already offered multiple that I'll touch on probably here in a little bit. But I think Hayden Hefner, I hate to say it, I love his game. I don't think he will, but it wouldn't surprise me. Is Manny Obaseki.
Yeah.
I would love for him to stay here. I love his game. He honestly reminds me like from his. It's very raw because he was injured, but he's Quentin Jackson-esque with his explosiveness, his jumps, his shooting needs to go up. He needs to be able to get to the rim better. He kind of
Yeah.
drives in a lot and gets stuck, and he has to do those floaters like those back leg, which he nails sometimes.
The only so they talked to I listened to this podcast from the football season when they were talking about the transfer portal, and it's kind of they were talking about how it's kind of easy to guess where these players go, and one of the signs is where does their girlfriend go to college? You know, where do they play?
Oh,
I don't see many transferring
that's
and
why-
moving away.
Yeah, that's why I don't see it. It was like Keaton Slovis transferred to Pitt, and his girlfriend played volleyball for Pitt.
Yeah, so they kind of follow their girl to whatever they go,
not
unless
weird.
she transfers to the same college.
It's not weird at
but
all.
They're in the middle of a softball season right now, but I mean, I could see that he's talented. I think
He's
he could.
super. I mean,
I
it's one of
think-
our top rated recruits we've
Yeah.
ever gotten statistically. I don't see it happening. I think that
If he wants
he
more
loves
PT,
A&M,
yeah,
and I think he'll stay. But again, that would be one where he could start at a Power 5 school.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the bench, like if we could get some of the guys that didn't get as much playing time this year at the end. I don't know if Andre Gordon stays because he played the backup point guard role, and Bryce Lindsey's coming in and will be filling that backup
KK.
point guard role. Yeah, I think KK will
I
probably.
saw him in the gym today at the rec, getting some
That's
work
good.
in.
That's good.
Yeah, he was
And
in
again,
there grinding.
I don't want players to transfer, but in this day and age, it's inevitably going to be what happens. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just how it is.
So let's talk about what do we want to see improve, and this could be adding players,
Three.
adding certain kind of players, or just adjustments to the scheme. What do you want to see improve from this season to next?
3-point shooting.
3-point shooting.
Yeah, I think we learned, especially in that Penn State matchup, you got to have a guy that can just knock down those
Just-
threes at any time.
Yeah.
Spot
Some
up shooter.
starter especially, or someone coming off the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, that's someone, like you said, we thought that Hefner would be.
Yeah.
I mean,
hasn't
however,
worked out that
it's
way.
not.
It hasn't worked out, but there's a lot of guys going to the transfer portal. A lot of people to look at. A lot of options out there. Go on.
I was gonna say size on the wings. We have guards, but we have like Wade and Boots and Andre.
Yeah.
Small guards. I would love to see us go to the portal and pick up like a Jalen Pickett size guard, like a 6'5", 6'6", like a guard who can handle it his own anywhere in the arc, outside, wherever.
Yeah, someone that when they drive in, I don't have to close my eyes
Yeah,
every
and,
time.
like pray that
And
when,
just pray
when
that-
Wade hits the floor really hard, he isn't cracking
Like
out.
Radford and Wade, they're good at like being slippery and driving in and getting a bucket over these tall guys. However, I don't want to stress out every time they do. It'd be
Yeah.
nice to go get a size wing, and I think size. Y'all hear me? I told y'all this before, but size on the front court as well.
Are you saying size does matter?
Size does matter in basketball.
And thank you. There's an asterisk next to that.
In basketball, on the basketball court,
And
size, yes.
I will
matters.
say after, I mean, I haven't found it. I mean, I may not have done enough investigative journalism. But there isn't like an active like list or site that shows you exactly who any team has offered. But there are like Twitter accounts that do update who like what player has heard from what team, and I can tell by who we have talked to and who we have offered. They're trying to get size on the wings.
Really?
We had a Zoom meeting with a guy from Middle Tennessee State today, and he's a forward. Don't
Okay.
remember his name.
Because I'm trying to think, like, for example, Alabama has size on the wing.
Coach.
One of the best wings, freaking Brandon Miller, but they also have who? Noah Clowney, I think.
Yeah.
I'll come out the wing too. They have a lot of size, and that's why they're the number one team in the country. But to compete with these SEC teams, compete in the tournament, I agree. I think size is going to be something that they need to look at.
We had a meeting with Tiafale Leonard Jr. He is a sophomore from Snyder, Texas. He is a guard. I'm saying the best for last. He's a guard. 8 points per game, 4 rebounds a game, almost 2 assists a game. He's 6'7".
Like a true point guard, or like kind of like a wing, like you were saying.
He's gonna be a wing. I don't
Yeah,
think
wing guy.
I don't think Buzz is gonna recruit a point guard with Wade and
Yeah.
Bryce Lindsey. And we've offered the guy who the best shooter in Reed Arena, Miles Studi, transferring from Vandy. Yeah. One guy I would love so much to get, but I don't think we're gonna get him because I think he's gonna go to a top program. Is Nicholas Timberlake from Towson. He's 6'4", so he's a little smaller. He's a graduate, He averaged 17.7 points per game and shot 41% from three.
Yeah.
Just spot up, catch and shoot, knock it down, guy.
100%.
I think I want to go back and talk about your TFLA Leonard.
Mhm.
The thing that catches my eye reading more about him is named to Conference USA All Defensive Team. We need
Oh,
that with Dexter.
Yeah.
Dexter leaving.
There's a
We need
there's a
some defensive.
He
help.
averaged almost two blocks and 2 steals a game.
really.
Yeah,
I mean,
as a guard.
I think some defensive guys too, especially with Dexter leaving, would be
Yeah.
efficient. That's why this one guy I tweeted out. He's from Port Arthur. He's from my area. Played for Ole Miss, and he defense is stud. But like, I'm not just saying. I'm not trying to be biased. I'm not trying to be biased. I mean, he played.
love to get him too.
No, like that's a guy. That's a. Oh my gosh, Amari Abram, guard from Ole Miss. He's transferring because their coach got fired, and they hired this guy who likes to hit his wife. That's
Whoa!
I didn't mean to just throw that out there like that, but I mean that's right. They want to go with Chris Beard. That's who they got. So Amari's like, I'm leaving. So Amari's leaving. He's a solid defensive guard. This kid played with Bronny and all of them at Sierra Canyon. He's a stud. When he had the chance, he did good. Their first game of the tournament, he had 20 points, and he was just cooking. They left him out there. But he's someone that can guard your best player, give Radford a break, But I wouldn't be surprised if he goes somewhere looking to start. There's a lot of adjustments from the players we have that I want to see. Especially, I said this last year, but I would love to see Javonte Brown get in the lab.
Yeah,
I would love to make him
He's got to
useful.
work on his hand-eye coordination.
Hand-eye coordination's a big catching the ball, not getting it hit out of your hand. I want to see him in the lab. Dude, I feel like Solomon Washington is literally a jump shot away.
Love him.
I need him to work on his shot. If he worked on his shot, he'd be a top pick next year's draft. Just because he has everything else down, his jump shot's just so slow and ugly. Just like if he became a threat on the offensive end, worked on his shot over the summer, he'd be really helpful.
Forgot to mention this. We've already been in contact with this guy as well. UTSA transfer, DJ Richards. He's, you guessed it, another guard. It would be a sophomore coming in. He is 6'5". So there is a super obvious trend of who we are offering, and that is guys with length on the wings.
I respect the effort. I love seeing that from Buzz. There's a lot of adjustments, a lot of things that they can do, and I think they can be right back where they left off next season. One team that did not really come back to where they left off is a different sport, but a baseball team, A&M. They're just coming off a weekend. I mean, they beat Rice Tuesday, but before that they had for the third time they swept them.
I got to finish it. They did the disjointed series. I covered each one of those.
Yeah.
I
think Emily gave you the third one.
She gave me the assist. I caught the lob and threw it down to Rice.
Way to be a team player.
Anyone from the Daily Thresher, condolences. I hope whoever had those games didn't write all 3 of them, because that would suck.
Stink. That would.
Oh, yeah.
And but before that, they played a very talented LSU team. Emily, you covered it that weekend.
I covered
and
it.
Hunter covered it that weekend, and then
Luke
did.
had the Friday.
So I'm glad y'all are in here because I really want to talk about that LSU tournament as a whole. Because I saw a quote from Hunter's article that we'll get to later that I kind of want to talk about. However, what did you see, Cade? You too? Because I know y'all are all Lodge. I'm coming off a basketball season. I got to get back into baseball.
Yeah.
I want to hear y'all's thoughts on the team so far, but especially that series.
Yeah. Well, for me, I don't know. I saw a lot of talk that was like, oh, they're the number 1 team right now, so like it would be weird if we won, and I hate that mentality.
Yeah, I don't like that mentality
especially
either.
with like game 1 with Paul Skeens pitching for LSU.
Jesus.
It's like, oh, against him you can't hit anything, but I think I hate the mentality that everyone had going into these games. We played.
I could have hit off of him.
Yeah.
You could have. Yeah.
I love that mentality, Hunter.
Yeah.
And that's why you're on the podcast.
I would send him 450 deep, dead center over the batter's eye.
Yeah. I mean, y'all are all in here because of the mentality y'all have. And that's, I agree with you, though. That mentality is doo-doo. But go on.
Yeah, I think game 1 was obviously our worst. We got shut out 9-0-9, I think.
Yeah, 9.
Didn't get run ruled.
That's good. That's a good thing. They still haven't got run ruled this year. They almost
Oh,
did.
you said it.
Oh my God! I forget baseball's so weird.
No.
I forget. Hold on.
Oh, Nathan Detmer, I'm so sorry.
I'm
dude.
sorry.
I'm sorry, man.
Tennessee's about to just destroy us.
Oh,
No,
man.
if anyone's, I'm actually not gonna. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna jinx
yeah.
it like that. I'm not gonna-
I swear, like you can't even talk baseball because like if you say
You
anything in the
can't.
future, like oh you just jinxed it. But go on.
I just think Saturday we could have won easily. We
Mhm.
had the lead in the first few innings, and we messed that up. Sunday. that
What
was-
What happened? Because I missed the game.
They
on
couldn't throw
Saturday.
strikes.
Really?
The pitching could not throw strikes. It was.
Yeah, it was a thing with the pitching, and then Slosh just got into this routine of changing the pitchers every time they just threw like one ball or like walked one batter, and he refused to let them get in the zone, and then he changed it out, and then it was
Yeah.
just a whole thing where I can't remember what inning it was, but LSU just came back
Yeah.
and just took the lead. didn't
Yeah.
come back.
It sounds like Slosh has a short leash on these guys. I mean, and when I watch his games, that's kind of how it was early last year. But now we're in conference play, and he's still trying to figure out who to go to in the bullpen.
they're-
Kind of worries me.
They're still. Well, yeah.
I mean, you say it's still kind of early. You feel like
I
you
still feel like it's. Yeah, I definitely feel like it's early. Just they were still figuring stuff out at this time last year, and
Mhm.
with the bullpen, I, like you said, they are figuring out the arms. I don't think there's too much worry to be had because I mean, they're still figuring out the starting rotation too. Because
Yeah.
especially with Lampkin, he's gonna. I mean, we'll get into that when we preview Tennessee.
Yeah.
But Lampkin starting on Sunday instead of
Sunday.
Cortez. So now Cortez is going to the bullpen. You have another righty arm option out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're kind of lacking right now. You have plenty of lefty arms, but righty pitching is kind of lacking.
That's so weird though, because like I feel like lefties are the one that's so like hard to
Yeah.
find and so rare. You know,
they
to
have.
get.
I mean, they have the righty pitchers, just no one to go to. Out of the
Yeah,
team
not like
type
a
of-
go-to
type of
guy.
deal,
Yeah, not like a.
A lot of the
like
go-to
Pauly
guys
from
are
last year.
lefties,
Yeah.
as in Evan
Jacob
Ashenbeck,
Polish,
lefty.
man. If we had him, oh,
So,
that's terrible.
Hunter, you covered that game on Saturday, right? So,
Yeah.
and
Yes,
there's
I
this
did.
quote. So, this is what Slosh had to say after the game about some of the players he's proud of, but the rest, not really.
You got to keep playing. You got to keep playing offense. It's not just on the pitching staff. It's you got to be on time to hit a fastball. And we have some guys in the lineup like Haas and Jack and Boast for the most part. Those guys are on. They're bought into what we're doing. Other guys either haven't or can't.
All right, so, what'd you think about?
So truthfully, I was kind of in the moment. It kind of the quote just kind of glossed over me.
Yeah.
And then I was listening back on the interview, and then I was like, oh, I didn't even really catch that you just said that some of
Yeah.
the players either haven't bought in or can't buy in, and that I was like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, but the thing that I really don't see with the coaches do this much, it's more of like the team's playing bad
specific
or the
He
team's playing
named
good. But
names.
he named 3 guys, 3 or 4.
3. I think he said Boast,
Haas,
Haas and Moss.
Moss. He said
Moss and Haas.
those are the
brothers.
guys that are showing up to the games, playing everyone else. And he said everyone else, though, no,
Hasn't bought in.
hasn't
Or
bought in.
can't buy in.
Yeah. That's scary to read. That's scary to see as a fan.
As a coach, I don't know. Like I mean, as a player, seeing that your coach said that
Yeah.
about you, and you're like, oh.
Yeah. Well, I bet if you're Boast, Moss, or Haas,
You
you're
feel
feeling pretty
great.
good.
Yeah.
You're feeling pretty, especially Haas
But-
coming to a new
I
team.
mean, that
and
may have
just-
been
they're
like
good,
a call
but-
to. That may have
Yeah,
been a call
that-
to step up.
Exactly, step up in leadership and show that to the other people. How
Yeah.
to completely buy into the system.
Yeah.
Because they may be trying, but you have to be fully bought into what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
I mean, and no fault of his own, but I mean the preseason wonder child has really not lived up to expectations. Laviolette,
Yeah.
he's a great hitter and he's gonna be great, but people put too much on him early on.
Yeah.
You got to remember, this dude was in high school last year, and now he's going up against dudes throwing 100 miles an hour.
I might be thinking of someone else, but didn't he just turn 18? Or
No, that was Max
Max
Coffer,
that was Max Coffer. Yeah. Okay.
who
but-
should be playing high school baseball right now.
Yeah.
Should be a senior in high
And so, and Sauce brings it up, too, that there's a lot of young pieces. Caden Kent has stepped up and done really well.
Cason
Wells has done really well. I mean, when Minute comes back, I think things will get a little bit better. But also, what worries me is that people think Minute Kate coming back is going to solve every problem we have.
No.
And that's not the case. Hitting needs to step up truthfully across the board. And
There's been a couple guys actually that have came in, especially let's get to that last game. That Stanley
Tucker.
Stanley Tucker came in.
Stan the man.
Yeah, I think I heard he made.
Got subbed into the game and then was number one play on SportsCenter top 10.
Yeah.
I'd argue he woke up the crowd all weekend. They were so quiet.
Yeah,
Like,
the
he-
crowd.
They love Stanley Tucker.
203 and Bluebell. This is my call to action for you. That LSU series, I'm gonna keep it straight with y'all. It's pretty whack. It was LSU fans that showed up. Props to y'all. Y'all really put it to the Aggies. Even Paul Skeens said, like I thought Bluebell was gonna be a tougher environment than this.
He said that.
Yeah, he was
Wow.
like everyone hyped up Bluebell, and I honestly thought it was gonna be tougher than this, and it wasn't that bad. Yeah, and then
Give him a little break since it was spring break.
yeah,
It's still going on.
I mean, yeah. You tend to shut people up when you're pumping 100 and your slider's got like a
True.
you're
When
you're
you
throwing
don't
like a
give 'em much to cheer
.45
for.
ERA.
Yeah.
And
it's
and like I know it was cold. I know it was spring break, but man, those LSU fans were loud, and they tried drawing them out by beating on the benches, and that did not work.
we talked about that a couple podcasts. I think we talked about it with Detmer how crazy Louisiana fans in general are of
Yeah, they were
baseball
probably
teams.
all drunk there at the game.
Nuts.
Yeah,
Cajuns,
Copenhagen in there.
crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fact. But anyways, I'm glad they were able to still win and not get totally swept. And now they're on to Tennessee next week. And before we get into that, though, I know Hunter has a little game.
So this is just a simple trivia, and since it is Emily's first podcast, I thought I would make it Aggie baseball themed.
I thought he was gonna say hi.
Here we go.
No.
Yeah, so sorry.
My undefeated record is on the line.
No,
Yeah.
no, guys, I transferred in last year. All right, I just got here.
Well, it's time to step up, because it is time.
I know I should have done something. Okay, come on.
And I will say, Kate has won every single time.
And
Yes.
it's not going to change today.
It's good, just Kate.
It's calling my shot.
The streak, will it continue? So, first question. In 2016,
No,
Um,
I quit.
Go. Say it.
one Aggie pitcher hit a no-hitter in SEC play. Can
He
you-
hit a no-hitter?
No, he threw a no-hitter. Sorry. Threw a no-hitter, and I'll give 1 point if you can name the pitcher, and I'll give 1 point if you name who it was against.
It was against Vanderbilt, right?
Yeah, that's 1 point.
Yeah.
It was against.
Was it? It
Vanderbilt.
wasn't. It's not John Daxakis.
No, it's not Don
He was
Zackis.
around in
Oh my god, that's a
2016.
name I haven't heard in a minute.
Nah, because I remember the clip of the dog pile. I just don't remember.
Because he
Who did
the
it?
last out was him catching a liner back to the
Give
back
it-
to the
can-
mound.
If you give me like the first letter of his first name, I might get it
Hold on, you said you know his first name.
I think so.
You want to give it a shot?
for half a point.
Is it like you just want me to say like the first name?
Yeah.
say the first name.
Is it Kyle?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
my
it's
god.
Kyle
I could've
Hendricks?
guessed that.
No. Kyle Simons.
Oh.
Kyle
Gotcha.
Simons. A&M has had a long history of successful in winning baseball seasons. When was the last time Texas A&M had a losing season in baseball?
2019.
Incorrect. They went 29-27.
I knew it was a bad season. I just didn't know.
I'll give you a hint. It came the year after they were the Big 12 champions,
Big 12.
regional champions, and then made all the way to the College World Series.
08?
Incorrect.
2009.
Incorrect. Do you want to take a stab?
I'll go 10, 2010.
2010?
We're just racking them up
That's
here.
incorrect. And since you're just going to play the elimination game, no one gets a point. We have to go all the way back to 2000.
2000?
Was the last time Aggie baseball has had
Wow.
a losing season.
That's brutal.
So yeah,
Okay.
Bluebell
Not
Park.
brutal, but like for me,
Good-
I didn't
good
get
for
it.
them.
That
Good
was
for them.
and even pre Rob Childress.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was Mark Johnson, right?
Yep, that was Mark Johnson. That was year. Oh. Well, we do not change baseball coaches as much as we change football coaches.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
All right.
Go on.
Next question. So, the 2016 season, before last season, was probably one of the best in Texas A&M baseball history. And one of those players is now commentating for Aggie baseball games. But before he was a commentator, he was SEC Player of the Year.
Boomer White.
Is Boomer White.
Oh my gosh.
And you want to know my fun fact about Boomer White? He had
What?
to have a piece of his rib removed, and he kept it and made it into a necklace, and had A&M engraved on it.
No way.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what?
yeah. He had to get a piece of his rib removed, and he kept it and turned it into a necklace. Let's see if I can find a picture, because I've seen a picture of it before. It's kind of cool.
That's wow.
He is one of the few people that, or few A&M old players who actually played for, probably the only one that actually played for Schloss, because he played at TCU.
That's
before
right.
transferring to A&M.
Really?
That's right. I completely forgot he transferred from DCU.
Yes.
I can't find a picture of it because it was so
just
long
to
ago.
do that, it's just
He made it up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a liar.
he's a liar. All right, come on, get the next one. I'm
All
about to
right.
get-
Well, let's see here. I won't dig so deep in the history books. Last season, some great hitters. We actually had 2 players who hit for the cycle. Who were they?
Um,
Okay, I know. One of them is Jack Moss.
Against Texas.
Yeah, I can't think of the other one.
He hit.
Ryan Targach.
That's correct. So I will
Yeah,
split
he
those
did,
points.
He did.
So where we're at 2.
I got.
You got a point.
Yes, go.
Chris got a point.
Yeah, and you have.
I have 2.
You have 2.
That's
Okay.
full.
I have 2.
No way. What was your second?
I got 2 because I got the last
Oh, you got
Boomer
Boomer
White.
White. That's
That's
right.
right.
That's my bad. I didn't mean to spit on your
trying to cheat
points.
me on points again.
Oh my gosh.
Always
Hey,
gotta try and
guess
cheat
what?
me.
I went to Casa Verde and I got the Ryan Targach combo.
How was
I saw that.
It
It was
was
Casa Vida?
Casa
Costa-
Vida,
Costa
not
Vida?
Verde. Yeah,
Come on
Casa Vida.
God.
Well, I went for my roommate he knew some profit share for some org, whatever. We went. I got the combo, but I switched out the regular chicken for pork, sweet
Yeah.
pork. Oh
It
my
was good.
god,
Never been.
it's delicious.
I need to try it.
It's really
I
good.
want to.
It's it's over there on the nice side of College Station, and it's like really expensive,
Uh,
but it's pretty
Yeah.
good.
I had never had Cooper's barbecue before. I mean,
I haven't had
Me
it.
neither. No, I haven't either. And that's funny you say that because like my mom called me today. We're having my ring thing on parent weekend. I'm getting my ring, and they're catering. Like we're having a lot of guys come over and they're catering, and they ask where we want to eat. And I was like, dude, get Cooper's barbecue to
Cooper's
cater.
is good. Yeah.
And I haven't had it before. So did you said you had it?
I've had it. Yeah. Before that, I'd never had like Texas barbecue. So
Did-
Whoa.
She was used to some deep dish pizzas
What's-
and like
what's
them
Chicago
crazy looking
barbecue?
hot dogs.
Do you like Portillo's?
Oh my god.
I went to
love
Portillo's this past spring break
In the-
in,
did you go
in
to one
Frisco,
here?
or the Colony.
Colony,
Yeah, I
The
went.
line was so long when I went.
I
The
found out
line,
about
it
that
wasn't too
today.
bad, but I got there around like 4:30.
Did you
I
get
went.
chocolate cake shake?
Oh, I did get a chocolate
Yeah.
cake shake.
Also,
Of course.
You said it's
I-
Portillo's. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Okay, I read like a text in and I thought it was Portillo's.
Wait, where's this at? What
Well,
is this?
it's a
Chicago.
Chicago. It's mainly from. It started in Chicago, but they're spreading out to different locations, and they opened up their first one in Texas in the Colony. It's up DFW area,
Yeah.
and they're actually branching out to others. They were telling me when I was there, they're branching out to other places around DFW, like
It's pretty good.
Allen.
This is-
North
it
Richland
was,
Hills, I
public
think.
service announcement to put one in College Station.
If we don't have
That
a
would be
Waffle
nice.
House yet, I don't think we're getting a
They're
Portillo's.
building a Pluckers, and I've
Oh,
never had a
yeah.
Pluckers.
So
Pluckers
yeah,
is
I
good.
found about
I like
this
Pluckers.
today, and I thought it was so funny how one of their selling points was beef. It just says like Portillo's, and it just says beef.
The-
I thought it was
Yeah.
The
great.
beef was good.
But
It,
next
it was
question.
pretty good on a sandwich.
No, you got us off top.
Next question. Texas A&M has had, again, to go alongside their illustrious baseball history, quite a lot of players drafted recently. Can you name, there's 2 in the last, let's see. In the last 15 players drafted, there have been 2 in the first round. I will give you a point if you can name one.
I can name one of them, Asa Lacy,
Asa Lacy.
and then I'll try and guess another one. Gosh. Oh, Braden Shoemake.
That's correct. That's both of them.
So do I. So I get both.
Yeah, you get both points.
That's awesome. Hey, you know what? I'm happy for you, Kate.
Wiley East's own Braden Shoemake. That's in my district.
The shoe.
I could have named like all of them. From
You
last
would have
season,
loved
like,
it because when Braden Shoemake would go up to bat, people would take off their shoes and hold it in the air
Oh, I know the place.
because that's funny.
like specifically me. I
Because
would love
it's a
that.
fun baseball thing. You know what? Never mind. You would have hated it. Go watch Drake baseball, all right?
Yeah.
Go watch the Bulldog. They have baseball? Probably not, right?
They had like a really tiny little field.
Because I know some programs just say screw baseball, takes too much money, and they just don't do it. So, like Iowa State doesn't have a baseball team, and they're in the Big 12.
I don't think
That's insane. I did not know that. That's cool.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of like Power 5 schools that just don't do baseball because it takes a lot of money, and for the most part, unless you have like a bit long history of being good at baseball.
Vanderbilt doesn't have softball.
Yeah, Vanderbilt also doesn't have. They're getting volleyball for the first time. They picked up their first volleyball recruit
Nice.
ever like a couple months ago.
Yeah,
I
Imagine
was
being her.
Yeah, I would probably commit there just to say that.
Just to say I was the first ever
Yeah,
commit.
And so that's really well because they got a AD and she's a woman, so I'm glad they're finally getting like women's sports. Cause it's so weird because the SEC. I remember a couple years ago, every team made it. They were like all 13 SEC softball schools made it to postseason. And I was like, 13.
Yeah.
That number's off. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, I'm pretty sure Vanderbilt has bowling instead of softball.
Bowling school.
So that was the most half-hearted attempt.
Bowling's cool.
Bowling's cool, yeah. So that's all my questions. So,
So let's get on to this weekend.
Wait,
then.
wait,
Yeah, you don't. Come on.
hold
now.
on.
What?
Gotta
Just
announce.
totally want to skip over the
No,
part
let's just
that
skip over.
I-
Let's skip over.
I
We don't need
want-
to do that. We don't need to do that.
Kane Harris once again, the winner of the crisp high five.
I hate this.
Oh, yeah.
That was crispy.
we'll
Crisp.
get them next time.
No, I keep telling
No,
myself.
you probably won't actually.
Yeah. Like when it comes to
See,
trivia, the Cowboys.
It's the problem because Kate is like me, like a sports trivia dude. Like sports trivia is my jam.
Yeah, I love
I
it.
love like just the random little factoids. But keep it on the keep it on the trend. We talked about the lows, and now we're getting to the top. Good old Rocky Top.
We can't include that in the podcast.
That will be deleted.
Rocky Top, Tennessee. Aggies going down to Knoxville to take down or to fight.
That is a pretty
What?
good side. I mean,
Yeah,
honestly,
Rocky
I-
Top.
I
No,
would say
don't disrespect
sometimes.
Rocky Top.
I think
That is
it's
catchy.
No, I like
right?
it.
But they
I like
They
it.
played a lot.
Just not when you sing it.
Yeah,
Don't lie
that's
to
true.
me. That's not what you said earlier.
All right.
All right.
But Tennessee looked. I mean, they're the number 2 team in the country. Then they get swept by Missouri. So,
Yeah.
I think for A&M, are you getting the Tennessee that got swept by Missouri, or are you getting the number 2 Tennessee?
Yeah, no, I think Tennessee's going to be pretty mad about what happened last week, getting swept by Missouri. So that doesn't help.
Was it in Missouri?
Yeah, it was in Missouri, but no, that's not
In
going to
front of
help.
all
Plus,
6 of the Missouri fans that go to watch baseball.
they're going to be, opening up their conference play at home, so it's probably going to be a pretty good home crowd they're going to be facing. But I still like their chances, honestly, to come out with a series win.
Sweep, I think, is off the table.
Not off the table, but very unlikely.
I think
Very
getting
unlikely.
a sweep in SEC. I mean, it happens.
Yeah,
obviously,
they
but,
didn't
like,
sweep anyone in SEC play last year besides Mississippi
Mississippi
State.
State.
Yeah.
They only had 2 sweeps at all the entire season. It was Fordham,
Fordham
at
in
the
the
beginning,
opening,
and
yeah.
then Mississippi State.
Yeah.
So, with this
Yeah.
starting rotation, that's why I don't think I think that one of those
Like,
pitchers
what are
is
you
going
gonna
to have
get?
an off.
What are you gonna get from Lampkin?
Yeah,
That's the question.
that is a hard ask to take a freshman and say, all right,
first
first
SEC start.
no, just first
No, it's his first. He started on the road against Rice.
He's
Hey, I'm just saying, it's not his first
Did you say
start.
Rice?
Yes, he started.
He started
I'm
on the
saying,
road
he did
against-
start against
Against
Rice.
Rice
yeah.
that he covered?
yeah, and he doesn't even know that.
Oh my gosh,
Come on
that's
now.
crazy.
I mean,
First SEC start. So
Yeah.
yeah.
On the road and a top 15 team who has a really good home environment. That is,
He started at Houston also.
yeah, well, I didn't cover the Houston game, so
That's a tough ask.
You gotta
but
watch. You gotta pay
it's-
attention.
On what? Like Conference
It
USA?
was on ESPN Plus that game.
Oh, that's like $15.
No, it's not. It's $5 a month.
That's too much. I'm a college student.
Quit being
Come on,
broke.
you have college students in here. What do y'all think about this matchup though overall? And what does
it's
A&M
in-
need to do?
It's intriguing. I think they're gonna need to throw strikes for one.
Yeah.
Throw a lot more strikes than they did against LSU. The bats are gonna have to continue to heat up, if not stay the same. I mean, I feel like they're coming along well. Fitting in pieces together, and I mean, you're gonna need the same hitters that have been hitting to remain hitting, as in Hunter Haas, Austin Bose. He kind of fell off
He's
a
in
little
over
bit
400.
against
isn't he,
LSU, but
Haas?
Haas, yeah, he's your best hitter on the team right now.
That's so crazy.
It's really encouraging seeing Jack Moss coming on a little bit more. He had a good weekend series against LSU. I think he's
Trevor
gonna-
Warner's back from injury.
Trevor Warner's
so
back, and he did well. He came against pitch hit against LSU for one at bat, but he struck out.
the
But then and then the game this midweek against Rice, he hit a lot of hard balls, and he hit a home run. Like
To be fair, a
right
lot of
center
people hit
gap
a lot of
was
hard
one.
balls in that Rice game.
yes, they did, but
That was
you know,
weird.
it was good to see that from him because he
Yeah.
struggled against lesser competition early on in the season. So
Emily, you agree?
I think, I don't know, going into Tennessee, we have a lot of momentum
Mhm.
because, we came off with the win against LSU on Sunday, which was huge. I think it helped our confidence a lot. And we swept Rice in, the World Series we had.
Let's go.
And I think if you're looking
Down
at
go
the
the side
stats
dishes.
for everything, I think it's kind of an even matchup. I mean, obviously, we have a lot of momentum right now, and, Tennessee's going to be upset from the sweep. But we have a better SEC record than them right now. We're 1-2,
Really?
they're 0-3.
Let's
If you
go.
look at the starting pitchers, the ERAs are similar. I think we're a little bit better just coming off of,
That's something we haven't seen
Really?
in a long time.
yeah. So, I don't know.
Lampkin's ERA is like 1.3, but then again he
I
has
think-
pitched almost the same amount of
What's-
innings as both of our other starters.
I
Well,
think
what's
Oh, no,
go
continue.
on. I was just gonna ask about Detmer. And his situation,
Well,
what's
that
going
kinda
on,
ties
but
into
we
what I was gonna say. I think what's like a big key, if A&M wants to win the series, I think they need to win Game 1.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Start
winning
off
Game
high.
1 changes your entire outlook and mindset. You're not playing from behind. You're not like, okay, Saturday. You're like, we absolutely we have to win this.
That's why it's the most important game of the series.
Yeah.
That's why you throw your ace.
Yeah, I think Friday is super important and it's also the home crowd. That's always the nightcap, and so the home
Yeah.
crowd's going to be there. If you can take the wind out of those sails early on the weekend, and then because then if you win Saturday, then you're chilling. Then you
Yeah.
can go in Sunday knowing that you won the series. You don't have to. You're not thinking about saving pitching because if we set the rubber match on Sunday, blah blah blah. You can say like, all right, we're gonna start this pitcher Sunday. We're not gonna go super deep in our bullpen if he's struggling. If he's doing great, that's awesome. A sweep is amazing. But I think we need to win the Friday game.
And so with Detmer, last game that I watched and covered, it was the Louisville game.
Cool.
And just I can tell when pitchers are obviously anyone can tell when pitchers are having a rough day, but you can just tell when a player's out of their zone. Detmer looked like his girlfriend broke up with him. That whole game, he wasn't in. There's no excitement, and that probably led to him pitching bad. Since then, what's been going on with him, game ones wise? What have y'all seen?
Honestly, to be fair, with that LSU team, giving up 4 runs is not the worst thing in the world.
It
Yeah.
wasn't
Like-
a bad
So
start.
he
at
didn't
all.
have- he didn't have
that
a
lineup
bad
is
start.
insane.
That
It's
top of the batting order with Cruz, White, Morgan, that is ridiculous. So giving up only 4 runs is great,
Isn't horrible.
but then you have Paul
Paul.
just pumping triple digits the entire game.
Yeah,
Just like 6
doesn't
foot,
help.
like a mammoth on the
No,
mound.
yeah. So I mean, I guess that's a thing too, because Louisville against Louisville, they would have a big inning, and would go 3 up, 3 down, and then they'll have another big inning, 3 up, 3 down. So you're not getting any helps from the bats either. That's not very, motivational on the mound.
Paul Skeens is 6'6".
6'6".
He's 250, dude. years
The guy who would talk to
the
himself.
guy talked to himself. That he was such a good closer. He's with the Mariners now.
I'll find it for you right now. Just keep going.
Yeah, we had you definitely don't know this, and you probably don't based on how you did it on baseball
God,
trivia.
yeah.
We had a pitcher that Cade's find the name of. He was one of our closers. He was
Because I hate that I forgot his name because I really
He was
did
so
enjoy
good.
watching him pitch.
But he would get up on the mound and he would talk to himself.
Like,
I'm not being
vigorously
I'm not
talk
being
to
like
himself.
let's go. Yeah, come on. He's like let's go. Come on.
Oh my God.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Like shaking his head and staring the entire time right at the batter. So he's like let's go.
Hey,
Oh yeah, I wouldn't sit in
Yeah,
that box.
like psyching you out.
I know, you gotta dude, you gotta do some disrespectful. Show them a pitch you're throwing, spit on the ground, kind of like laugh at them. After striking them out, just kind of like move your hands, say, "Hey, get off the plate." I wish I was a good athlete because I would be so disrespectful.
Dude,
And,
what are you talking about? You're the Lord of Layups.
I know I was disrespectful in high school, but I could never get to that next level.
Nolan Hoffman.
Nolan Hoffman. Oh, dude, he was a dog.
Let me see this guy.
He had a good mustache too.
Yeah, he's intense looking.
Oh no, yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not him with his mustache.
Oh, he
No.
got a stash
Dude,
now?
he had a good.
He threw
stash.
like a little submarine too. It was
Yeah,
like
he did.
it was
he
like
was a-
sidearm.
Yeah, he was a sidearm.
That's insane.
Yeah,
Well-
he was.
Well, we recap Tennessee or preview Tennessee.
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Big. Hey,
preview.
that's a big.
Should we? I mean, just to mention out there, we do play Texas on Tuesday.
Oh, and
Who?
they play Texas, and
Yeah.
Texas is.
Wait.
That's
We
one thing I
play-
do know.
We play UT this weekend and then TU on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
So
who we played this?
A&M plays the actual UT first.
Yeah, we
and
play the
then they
actual
play
UT.
like the phony
I didn't know we had them on our
next.
schedule. I thought we quit scheduling midweek cupcake games.
Well,
Wow, it's
yeah. Hey, you know what? Yeah. There you go. Come on.
Hey,
Come on.
It
There
wouldn't.
you go.
It wouldn't be.
I love disrespectful Hunter.
It
This is-
wouldn't be.
Hunter is the hater of all teams.
I am a professional hater.
Professional.
I just hate
That's
when
in my
hates on
job
me.
description. In fact, I'm gonna be such a professional hater. Let's look up this school in Austin. Oh, with
Yeah,
their
so after
with their
this
with their
series-
beautiful turf field.
So yeah, definitely after this series against Tennessee, they get Texas at home. It should be packed. There should be a better
Should be
crowd
packed.
from LSU because again they're coming from spring break, so you should have a packed house again. Let's see how it goes, man. I don't think Texas has been playing that good this
No,
year.
they dropped out the rankings early.
Yeah,
They're 15-7.
They
And
lost
They are playing number 14 Texas Tech.
this weekend.
Yeah.
That'll be an interesting series just to kind of
Yeah,
watch and
It's in at Dish Falk, which
since
I
A&M
call
played
something else.
A&M played Tech. Texas played LSU and lost 3-0 on a 3-run home run in the top of the ninth.
really.
Yeah, it was 0-0 throughout the entire game.
That-
That was in the midweek as well. So
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll
that-
see. We'll see who they're throwing. I doubt who's been throwing the midweek games. Starting.
So for A&M, I feel like it's gonna be shaken up because
Yeah, 'cause
Wyatt
it has
Tucker
been
has been
Tucker.
struggling.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Shane Sadeo goes.
It's gonna be
Tuesday.
Sadeo Cortez. It's really gonna be decide on who pitches the weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Cortez is coming out of the bullpen.
That's
I
why
don't think he's starting.
if he
Because
pulls out.
Schloss said it in his
Oh, did he?
press conference yesterday. Cortez is coming out of the bullpen.
Okay,
That's-
then my bet would
he moved
be-
into the bullpen.
My
role.
bet would be Sadeo. I
Sadeo,
don't see
yeah.
Tucker. I don't see Tucker starting
No, I don't think
that's
it'll be
that
Tucker.
important of a midweek.
That's an exciting game, and I'm definitely watching this weekend because basketball's over. Other than not basketball. I'll still be watching basketball. However, yeah,
Talk
it's
a little basketball.
exciting. Couple games, couple matchups coming up, and it's exciting, but also very hot. It's Cade's. Spicy
Cascades, hot
Yeah.
takes.
So let's listen to one of these.
Going back to Grant's favorite sport in basketball with this hot take. So, although A&M's no longer in the March Madness, I think it's still fun to talk about because it is, one of the greatest, if not the greatest,
One
sporting
shining
events
moment,
Yeah.
baby.
just out there. And my hot take is that here we are, Thursday, before Sweet 16s have already started. I'm not sure what's gone final. I'm
What's
pretty
right
sure
now,
UConn
is
UConn's crushed
currently
Arkansas.
doing
Well,
illegal things to Arkansas.
Kansas-
right
What's the Kansas State
Well,
Michigan State score?
as we're recording this right now, Kansas State and Michigan State are in overtime.
now?
Really?
Whoa.
96 and 93 with 12 seconds left.
Really?
Kansas State's up.
That's the story of the
Really?
year in
Yeah.
college basketball.
However, it's a
Wow.
much
I'm gonna go
different,
ahead and just slide
it's a
that on
much-
real quick.
much
But-
different game with Arkansas UConn. They're getting blown out by 25.
Wow.
So, this hot take won't really have
Whoopee.
too much. I mean, I think one of these teams, could be discussed, but I say so. My hot take is championship game will not feature a 1 seed or a 2 seed.
And who would they feature?
Anyone but a 1 or a 2.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay, I like that.
That's
Because
where I'm
like
going
that's one of the teams I want to
I-
see that I think also has a good chance
So you
is
think,
Miami.
yeah, that's
That's
you
what
know, that's
Hunter
the
was
team
talking about to
I'm
me.
riding with, but
So I
see,
won't
the
ride-
issue-
I won't
Good
ride with
guard
them
play.
then.
I
Yeah,
like
that's the issue
UConn.
is
They're
I'm
winning
riding
right
with
now,
them,
so I like UConn.
Yeah.
I
mean,
think they have
UConn,
a chance. I still like Tennessee
I mean, you're in the Sweet 16
On that side
and
as
you
well.
just blew out
on the other side.
an opponent by 25 in the Sweet
Right.
16. That's nuts.
So you're saying Bama, UCLA, Texas, and Houston lose
Yes.
well,
they
who will
lose
Bama lose on
before
that side of the
championship.
bracket?
because
before
they're
the
playing.
I
championship?
think they lose to Tennessee in the Final Four.
Whoa.
I think
So,
they're gonna drop.
Tennessee's going
I
to
like
beat FAU according
Tennessee.
to.
And then what would probably
And then,
be Kansas
I mean,
State.
And then
Yeah,
will probably be
maybe.
Kansas. I mean, honestly, that side of the bracket, they're all good teams. That's why they're there. But however,
Yeah, the West and the Midwest is significantly better.
yeah,
It's significantly
way better.
I mean, hey, I love mathletes. Princeton, hey, respect. Sweet 16, even farther than us. They're if they somehow, by the grace of God or calculus, beat Creighton,
yeah.
I do not think they can beat Alabama.
I mean,
I
this-
hope this is the.
I'll let you know that
I
in the
hope this
final.
is the.
Kansas State.
I hope this is the
Yeah,
most
final
freezing
over
cold
Michigan
take
State.
ever. I hope Princeton just wins the whole thing, and then the whole sports world blows up.
That would be.
It would be the
Amazing.
greatest, the greatest storyline in college basketball ever. It's not going to happen, but I'm saying definitives, so we can play this clip back. I love Miami as well. I think guard play wins championships.
Mhm.
They're getting good play from Wooga Poplar,
Yeah.
even though he is questionable for the Houston game, which
Yeah.
scares me. Xavier is looked really good. Sule Boom,
Yeah.
Nunji, Hunter, they look really good. UConn,
Yeah.
Sonogo.
I mean, dude, they just
smoked.
dominate.
Yeah.
Let me see how
if
much.
Kansas State keeps playing little baby though,
And it's-
they might have
I'm
they
so-
might have a shot against us.
I'm so frustrated because I've been hating on the Big East all year.
Yeah,
And now there's
I say
three
I'm a
Big
professional
East
hater.
teams.
I say I'm a professional
Dude.
hater. You are a professional Big East hater. You
Oh no, I
do
just
not
I don't
like
stand the Big East. In my original bracket. I don't think I had any Big East teams in the Sweet 16.
Only thing-
Definitely not the Elite Eight.
The only thing I don't like about the
Uh,
Big East is how like none of their schools are named after where they are.
Yeah.
They're like all Creighton, St. John's, Xavier,
Yeah,
Villanova.
you explained to me where Creighton was from. I think.
Yeah,
about a couple
Omaha.
weeks ago.
I didn't know
Omaha.
until
I didn't know
Nebraska,
that.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
insane.
I just didn't
Like-
think them as a Big East school.
yeah,
like
it's
playing
just
in
so
Nebraska.
like they've got and then they
How-
got was it Butler, DePaul.
yeah.
I'm missing some. Georgetown.
St. John's.
None of them are named after
Yeah.
where they are.
Which-
That may be my dumb Southern brain,
Rick,
but
you guys see Rick Pitino just signed a head coach at
St.
St. John's.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's a very
Uh,
interesting.
I think he will recruit well,
Yeah.
and I will put a
He
period. at the end
offered
of that.
he offered like every 5-star in the book as like his first day on the job. It
Oh my
was
gosh!
like,
Like, why not?
Offered them-
Why
might
not
as well
just try
take a
to
shot.
throw it
I
out
mean,
Wait,
there?
wait.
if that's just showing the fan base and
What
like
did
the
he-
goals that he's got in mind. But
Well, hey,
Wait.
he's born and raised in
Hold
New
on.
York, back in New York.
what you got for us, Hunter?
What did he offer them?
NIL maybe probably.
Is that dot behind that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Rick Pitino. I know
Wow.
the past is in the past.
It's
Bryce
legal
Miller's still
now.
playing basketball, so we look past things.
However, yeah, but
Brandon Miller.
so back to
Yeah.
these Sweet
Where's
16
Bryce
teams. I can't
Pitcher.
lie.
Oh, that's right, because I was just looking at that. Yeah.
No, you are good. I can't lie. I do hate on the Big East. However, like you were talking about a second ago, Creighton, full of talent. I love Baylor Shireman. That's one of my favorite guys. I love Xavier. Xavier Lee returned the whole team from the NIT. Plus, they got that UTEP guard, Sule Boom, which he just adds on to the team.
Don't forget,
and then UConn
for Creighton, don't forget Kalkbrenner.
And then, UConn with Jordan Hawkins, Sonogo, those guys are elite. I feel bad for handing on the Big East. I should have been a little nicer. There's other reasons why I hate them that I can't say on the podcast, but I don't know. I'm excited. So you have Miami going? You have Miami going?
I like Miami. Because I like them, they're going to get smoked by Houston because that's what happens with teams like
Well, I mean, they're
that.
playing a beat-up Houston team
Yeah,
right
but they're
now.
playing a Houston team that showed that they can win without having Shed and Sasser on the court, which scares me a little bit. But, I mean, I think Miami can beat... I think they can beat Houston. I think they can beat Xavier, Texas. And I think they can beat anyone from UConn, Gonzaga, UCLA.
Yeah.
I have faith that they can do that. I mean, their size in the post is something that'll be a little question mark about. But I like them.
Yeah.
At least in the championship game.
So before today, in my original bracket, I had Arkansas going Final Four. So today I was very confident, let's just say, in them being UConn. They just lost by they're about to lose by 30.
Pig, suey.
Yeah. And then I had Houston win the national championship in my original bracket. However, they're beat up right now. They did show they have depth, but let's see how far that gets them.
Yeah, I
Right?
said that hot take, and I'm cheering for I'm in a money bracket right now where I have 2 1 seeds playing each other in the championship. So
Yeah.
I need
trying to
my
jinx
Final
it?
Four right now: Alabama, Tennessee, UConn, and Arkansas.
Alabama.
Or not Arkansas.
I was
Alabama,
like,
Tennessee,
SEC homer.
UConn, and Houston, and then
So
I
you
have
Tennessee,
Alabama
and Bama rematching in the.
in the Final Four,
Wow.
and
that
then
would
I have
suck for TV ratings.
Alabama versus Houston in the championship.
Me
But
too.
you have
It's still alive. It's
And
still
I just
alive.
I want Houston.
We'll
If
see how
Houston
it goes.
somehow gets to the Final Four in Houston,
Oh, it's gonna be crazy.
it's gonna be
that'd be awesome.
lit for it. They just need to get there. However, they have to play a talented Miami team, and Texas and Xavier who are both really good.
Emily, what do you have to think about this? What do you have to say about this? I know you've been chomping at the bit over there waiting to talk about basketball.
You love hoops, right?
My bracket is busted.
Whose isn't?
Mine's perfect, right? Mine's perfect.
No, like the highest busted you could have.
You just filling them in as they go.
Like, what were your
No.
teams
Um,
like winning Final Four?
Well, I had A&M and I had Duke in the championship.
Ooh.
Oh.
Well, you're done.
Well, I had Duke.
There's always
I had
next
Duke in the
year.
Final Four. I had Duke in the Final Four, so.
Dude look good. I can't blame
No,
you.
I mean, I get that. I'm
Um,
guessing you had Arizona go
I
far
had-
too.
I had Fairleigh
yeah.
Dickinson
Well,
to win it all.
I had A&M beating Penn State, so I was
Yeah.
doomed from the start.
It's okay. That's why I made a separate bracket with A&M winning,
I
just
made-
in case
I
when
made
they
like
do
12
say.
brackets, and they
Oh,
all
yeah.
suck.
I planned on it, and then I got lazy and forgot until the last second. So we're stuck with that one. My choices have been made, and they were the wrong ones.
Hey, I respect that.
It happens.
But if I had to go to championship team, I don't see anyone on Bama's side of the bracket stopping them. So
No.
obviously Bama.
Dude, Bama has
Uh,
has the easiest
I
route.
know.
San Diego
It's-
State's probably the weakest 5 seed. Maryland was meh. They get
Oh
Creighton.
my God.
Creighton, if I look at down this bracket, is probably their toughest test, depending on who comes out of the Kansas State Tennessee
Yeah.
matchup.
So I like this. Before we wrap it up, I want to talk about one more thing real quick. Did y'all see Nick Saban's interview
Oh,
about and kind of his little his little what's it called, diss at the basketball program
don't
at
say that, I'm trying to pull
Alabama?
it up.
Yeah, many people, have said. I mean, he can.
No,
say
yeah,
it,
I know.
but
I followed this.
Many people have said no. Saban is very intentional with his media and what he says. So this wasn't a coincidence. He wasn't.
And so
he-
during their pro
He
day,
used those words on purpose.
Tony Mitchell has been suspended from the team and all team activities until we gather more information about the situation and what his legal circumstance is. And, guys, everybody's got an opportunity to make choices and decisions. There's no such thing in being at the wrong place at the wrong time. You got to be responsible for who you're with, who you're around, and what you do, who you associate yourself with, and the situations that you put yourself in. So it is what it is. But there is, cause and effect when you make, choices and decisions that put you in bad situations. So,
Yeah. So
he does not like the bad light on his school.
So I saw this tweet of this guy who asked him the question, like, was that a diss at the basketball program? And he said, no, it was not a diss, blah, blah, blah. And all the Bama fans said, yeah, everyone just likes to make a narrative of the situation.
Yeah,
like,
of course,
dude,
because
okay.
Saban was gonna say, yeah, it was a disc. No, of course.
No, of course he's
Sam's
not
like,
gonna
oh,
say
I was
that.
being super disrespectful. Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
that was for Nathan Oates.
He's gonna pull a
No, like, no
he's gonna
way
pull a
that happened.
Calipari and March Stoops.
Oh,
just
they're
start
going at each
beefing.
other.
Just start
Yeah.
beefing.
And coaches same
Nate Oates and
universities
Nick
hate
Saban
each
are gonna
other.
start. I couldn't imagine
That's
Nick
so
Saban doing
funny.
anything like
But
that.
like, no way after
did
what?
say that.
Yeah. After what happened with
Intentionally.
basketball, and then he says that. Oh no,
and the thing
it's
about it-
not. No, I'm sorry.
The
but
thing
like,
about
no,
it,
it's
too-
not a coincidence.
The part that makes it not a coincidence to me isn't that he said that. It's what he said after. Got to be responsible for
Yeah.
who you're with, who you're around, who you associate yourself with.
And let's be real. This isn't the first time that a player has acted up and been kicked off the team. And when asked about it, people just say they haven't been. They violated the team rules. No one. It's very rare. Does what Saban does and gives this whole
Yeah,
like montage of just
because he can't
stuff.
just say he's not with the team.
Yeah, he's just not with the team anymore. That's what Jimbo did when we're asking him about the restroom situation and all that this past football season. He just said they violated team rules, stuff came out, blah, blah, blah. Saban went on and had a whole talk.
Little spiel.
Yeah.
And not only that, he wasn't asked about it. This was in like a pre-prepared message. This was his
Yeah.
opening monologue, like type. Deal.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
He wasn't asked a question about this. He didn't have to be asked. He discussed it. He knew it was going to be asked.
And he had it
It
written
was
down.
intentional.
He prepared.
It was intentional.
It was 100%, and I love it. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
it.
I think it's one
That's
way.
why I don't
we
want
can
Bama
say
to
this.
win.
I
at
don't
all.
like Nick Saban. I'm not very fond of Nick Saban, but
Yeah.
I did like that.
There's
I
one, there's
really
one way we
did.
can settle this, and that's a pay-per-view cage match between Nate Oates and Nick Saban.
Who would win?
I'd love to see it, but it's not going to happen.
It's not. But I hope that.
You don't think that the University of Alabama would schedule a pay-per-view MMA cage fight between their two coaches?
Yeah. With how
I
good.
don't think so. No.
Really?
I don't see it
You
happening.
tell me I'm not going to see a Buzz Williams, Jimbo Fisher.
No offense to
Cage
Jimbo,
match?
but I
No.
think Buzz handles that.
Dude, have you seen Buzz squat? Dude, Buzz.
Oh, Buzz would handle that
Yeah.
easily.
No offense.
That's not even, that'd be sad. But yeah, no, that's all we have today. There's a lot to talk about. I think we talked about all of it. We'll be back next week. We had a spring break, a lot of crazy stuff happened, but we're gonna start coming out with them weekly until the end of the semester, man. And
get it.
I'm excited. Emily, welcome to the team. We're gonna be coming out with probably more softball and baseball stuff throughout the rest of the year, and hopefully bring on some more special guests.
Yeah.
That is in the
Hopefully
talks.
softball turns it around this weekend.
Yeah.
We didn't
Yeah.
talk about them at all, but it's getting swept against Georgia, not good. Turn it around against Kentucky, see what happens.
Yeah,
I'd like to be talking about softball later on towards how we get towards the end of the podcast. Hopefully
Yeah.
they give us something to talk about.
I agree. And let's hope they turn it around too. And hey, thank y'all for listening. Go Ags, gig 'em. See y'all next week. Hey Aggies, make sure to go to ridehitch.com. It's like Uber, but also for longer distances. Enjoy 30% off your first 4 rides using code AggieNews4. Remember, that's AGGIE News 4. Make sure to go to ridehitch.com, use the code, and enjoy 30% off your first 4 rides. Gig 'em.